Hey, what's up everybody? This is week 12 recap of commercial diving school. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. So Monday we started off in the classroom working on all the PowerPoints that have to do with welding and burning. And then we took a test on Tuesday morning on all that information that we learned. And then Tuesday, we actually got to work welding right off the bat. And some people, I think 6 at a time, got to burn or cut with the oxy-acetylene torch. And then the rest of everybody got to weld. The outside area that we're welding at has, I think, 6 booths where 6 people can weld at. And then there's a bunch of tables where everybody else can weld, so you just pretty much pick your station, you get all your tools and your safety equipment like your jacket and your gloves and everything, and you get your leads. There's a special like cage place where you get your all your leads. You need 2, hook it up to your welding machine that you're using, and then hook up your stinger, your ground, run the cables out to your station, and then we could begin welding. And then for the torch, you just go to an oxygen and acetylene tank pair, and then you make sure your valves are turned on, your regulators are good, your hoses are hooked up to your torch, you got all your tools and safety equipment and stuff. And then you grab some for both welding and burning, you get your scrap metal from the scrap metal bin, and then you go back over to your station. And then you want to make sure, for welding, you want to make sure your metal is clean. And then for burning, you want to burn off any kind of like paint or anything like that before you actually start cutting. So that was basically Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I cut with the torch all day. So all day I was just going back and forth to the scrap bin, finding whatever metal I could, and I was, burning letters into like sheet metal. I was taking like pipe that's about that big around and that long, and I was just cutting sections off of it. I was cutting all sorts of things, so it was actually pretty fun. That was my first time cutting with the oxy-acetylene torch. I never cut anything with the torch before, so that day was pretty fun. And Thursday in the morning, so that area that we're doing all this stuff in, it's kind of a little low. I don't know how to explain it, but basically when it's high tide, water will actually go over the concrete walkway, and it will kind of go into that area where we're doing our welding and burning and stuff. So basically that happened. It was high tide, and it was just flooded, and we didn't want to risk with all the leads from the welding machines like in the water, like an electrocution or something like that. So it was just a safety thing. We kind of shut it down, and we picked it up back after lunch when the tide went back out. So that happened both Thursday and Friday, so it was pretty disappointing. But I ended up welding both the end half of Thursday and Friday. I basically welded for the end of those 2 days. So that was basically the whole week. It was pretty fun. The days went by super fast. As soon as I started working, it was like I snapped my fingers and it was already break time. And then we had breaks at 10 a.m. and then we obviously had our lunch for about an hour, and then we had a second break at about 2 p.m. and they're both our 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. breaks were 30 minutes long. So that's kind of different, but I mean, this is the only time we're welding, so it's hot and we're basically working, like actually working like that whole time, so we need some extra time for a break. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it was just super fast. Like as soon as we got to work, it was done. the longest part of the whole entire week was when it flooded and our area was flooded, so we had to wait. So I mean, time seemed like it was going by so slow during that time until we could actually go back to, you know, finally welding and stuff like that. The various projects we did this week, I worked on doing a flat weld, which is basically like having something like a metal piece like flat on the table and just running beads. And then stacking is like you run a bead and then almost right on top of that bead, but not quite, you run a bead like right next to it. And so you just keep doing that over and over and over and over. So I practiced stacking flat welds, and then I did vertical. So you basically tack up vertical a little piece of sheet metal, and then you do your vertical welds, and I was stacking those as well. And then I burned pieces to fit kind of together to do a butt joint. So that's basically like you have two pieces of metal, and then there's like a V shape, and then you basically weld down the middle to weld those two pieces together. And to help you, you have like a little backing plate on the back. You can actually see all of this stuff that I did in the welding in commercial diving video in commercial diving school video that I posted. So all this stuff that I'm talking about, go check that out. Other guys were working on, like, there's kind of two different scythes. Like one of them is kind of looks weird, like it's got a jagged blade that looks like it's covered in tinfoil. And I have actually pictures of that one in my day 60 video. They kind of just whipped these two projects together like last minute. Like, I mean, they had like, I think they had 2 hours to work on them. And so like all the ideas for them and actually planning it and designing it and putting it together and actually welding everything. So it took like probably like the last 2 hours of the week to finally knock it out. And then before we ended up having to go home. But the other one, it's kind of like a handle is a chain. So kind of like the previous class did a battle axe where the handle was a chain. Same kind of thing, but they stuck like a scythe, like the Grim Reaper's like blade thing, like on the top of the blade instead of a battle axe. So it looks pretty cool. I like that one a lot. We definitely, if we had more time, we could have made it look so incredible, but we didn't have enough time. Like I said, had no time to work on it. But at least we had a project, and at least we have something to hold up, you know, at muster that we can like, you know, be like, hey, you know, we did this, we worked on it. But anyways, that was basically this week. It was just all welding. So next week we're seniors, so we're seniors now, but next week we start like our week as seniors, and I get to park up at the school, so I don't have to park in the parking lot that's a mile down the road and take a van to school, and then after school take a van back to that parking lot and then get to my car. I can actually park by the school, and then I can wear shorts too, so that's a good deal. And then I think we go to lunch a little bit early, and we're gonna start burning and welding underwater. So that's like, you know, the pinnacle of this school, and what everybody wants to know about is underwater welding. Like, so that's, you know, what we're going to be doing. So if you are interested in hearing about underwater welding, and that's why you came to this channel, or, you know, whatnot, definitely check that out. But yeah, that's all I have for this video, you guys. If you liked, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment for me, or question. That's totally messed up. Leave a comment or question down below if you have anything, and Hope you have a great one. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.